6 o'clock on this Thursday morning. Hi, everyone. Another scathing report from BC's children's watchdog, this time about the treatment of Aboriginal kids.
What this report reveals may shock some British Columbians, and hopefully it will prompt some change in how MCFD and the provincial government as a whole approaches the difficult job of serving this vulnerable sector of our population.
Mary Ellen Turpelafond blasted the Ministry of Children and Family Development. Over the last dozen years, she says $66 million has been spent on trying to improve conditions for First Nations kids in government care, but with lots of talking and little action.
There is no evidence for that $66 million, and I stress that that's a conservative estimate. I expect it's much higher than that. There is no evidence for that investment and that expenditure that a single child or family actually received a service that would have contributed to improving their life circumstance.
Turpelafond says Aboriginal children represent 11% of all youth in BC, and their group is growing the fastest. First Nations children are 6 times more likely to be involved in the child welfare system. The provincial government has defended grizzly bear hunting by calling it sustainable, but some biologists are casting doubt on that policy. A joint SFU and UVic study has found grizzly kills have exceeded the amount allotted by the government. Researchers say this happened in half the areas open to trophy hunting. They're concerned about a declining grizzly population because the bears have low reproduction rates.
Even considering all other sources of human-caused kills, like car accidents, poaching, animal control kills, we found that almost all the detected overkills could have been prevented had we eliminated or reduced hunting. So there is actually a fairly simple solution available to government managers.
Researchers used government figures from 2001 through 2011. They found 2,800 bears were killed by trophy hunting during that period. The overall population estimate, 15,000 grizzlies. Heavy rain overnight has resulted in slick road conditions across Metro Vancouver this morning. No word yet if weather conditions are to blame for a single vehicle crash on Vancouver's west side from earlier this morning. It happened on Arbutus Street and 33rd Avenue just after 2:30. The driver was trapped inside the vehicle and had to be pried out with some help from the jaws of life. There's no word yet on the condition of the driver. Vancouver has the worst traffic congestion in North America. That's the finding in a new study from GPS company TomTom. Its study measured travel times during peak periods versus slower hours for the average driver with a half-hour commute. TomTom says it takes 36% longer in Vancouver between slow and peak periods compared to 35% in LA. It says the difference means the average driver in Vancouver spends an extra 93 hours in their car every year.
You know, when they tell us that we're worse than Los Angeles, it doesn't kind of pass the smell test. There's such a difference in scale. That's a region of 8 to 10 million. We're about 2. But the real difference is in our geography. Those bridges, the fact that we don't have freeways leading into the city. But at the same time, we have often more choices in a city like Los Angeles.
The TomTom study found Mondays to be the least congested day of the week in Vancouver. Tuesday mornings and Thursday evenings tend to be the busiest. Police have given us more information about a violent incident on Grouse Mountain. North Vancouver RCMP officers were still scouring the mountain yesterday after Tuesday afternoon stabbing. A man in his 50s was attacked while hiking the BCMC trail. The victim's injury is not life-threatening and he's been released from hospital. The suspect is only described as a Caucasian teenager with a slim build and dark hair.
The victim stepped aside to let the hiker go up, and all of a sudden he was stabbed. It was that sudden. It was unprovoked.
The man at the head of Lululemon has angered customers all over North America with comments he has made about his company's yoga pants. Greg Harper is live in Vancouver with more this morning. Greg.
Good morning, Kyle. Yeah, just outside the Lululemon here on West 4th. This is a very popular Vancouver-based clothing company. Not every customer, though, has been satisfied. There's been another round of complaints here the company is hearing about. But this time, the company's founder, you could say he's firing back. Take a look, take a listen.
Quite frankly, some women's bodies just actually don't work for it.
They don't work for the pants?
No, they don't.
So more likely that they'll be see-through in some women's bodies?
No, I don't think so. You know, really about the rubbing through the thighs.
In this latest round of complaints, some Lulu customers are saying once again some of the pants are too sheer. Some are saying there is pilling after only a few months of wear, and in some cases the pants are coming apart at the seams. You may remember earlier this year the company actually pulled some of its yoga pants off the shelves after it received complaints that the pants were too sheer. The company responded to that by saying that perhaps some women are buying a size too small. Despite these previous complaints, though, and the complaints that the company is hearing about now, Lululemon continues to thrive, selling about $1.4 billion worth of merchandise last year. Kyle?
Thanks for that. Greg Harper live this morning in Kitsilano. Still with fashion, Victoria's Secret has done it again, wowing with its yearly offering of a bra encrusted with precious gems. This year's Royal Fantasy Bra is packed with diamonds, rubies, and sapphires, and it's worth $10 million. It features a 52-carat pear-shaped ruby with a matching ruby-encrusted 18-karat gold belt. The model, who will wear it down the runway, says it had to be molded to fit her body and is going to be heavily supervised by guards.